This week's Odyssey event just made the no harvest achievement way easier to get, and in today's video I'm going to explain why that's the case. Now, as per usual, the hard version of this Odyssey has 5 maps, the first one being pretty easy, but after that they seem to get harder until you end with having to do quad on Impossible, which was admittedly not that fun to do. Now, as per usual, there were multiple hero options for this Odyssey, but I decided to go with Sada because I knew she would come in handy on the 4th map, and the significance of that I will explain in a bit, but first I'm going to do a short rundown through each of the maps and just showcase the Odyssey a bit. This probably will be a bit shorter video than normal, I just wanted to do a quick showcase. The first map of the Odyssey was pretty simple, Park Path on hard mode, rounds 50 to 70, starting with $10,000. I originally tried a strat with Sada and a helicopter, but quickly found out that didn't really work. I was saving up for Apache Dart ship, but I wasn't quite able to do it. Then I tried a Wizard Phoenix strategy. That worked for a bit, but then it met the same fate as the helicopter strategy. At this point, I realized I was limiting myself too much. If a wizard strategy didn't work and a helicopter strategy didn't work, then why couldn't I do both? At this point, I realized that I can actually come up with a good idea once in a while, and with the combined power of wizard and helicopter, I was able to destroy the first map. The second map seemed like it would be kinda difficult, but quite honestly, it really wasn't. Double HP mobs on Town Center, rounds 3 to 65, and a tier limit of 25 tiers total. But thankfully, I've been playing an ungodly amount of contested territory, and I've learned a couple things doing that. First off, snipers are extremely overpowered. Second, 25 tiers is actually a lot to work with if you know what you're doing. For the early game on this one, Sniper and Sharpshooter carried. The Sharpshooter crits absolutely destroyed the round 40 mob, and after that, I was able to get the Crossbow Master along with the Bouncing Bullet Sniper for extra support, and I ended up absolutely destroying this thing with a few tiers left over just for the heck of it. Overall map difficulty rating on this one, 3 out of 10. I begged Ninja Kiwi to give me a harder challenge. Thankfully, they delivered in the form of the 3rd event. So Ninja Kiwi decided to make the 3rd map a little more interesting. Firing range in reverse, but they made the bloons 1.5 times as fast as normal, which is a bit brutal on that map. Thankfully, I had some counters to this, mainly Sada and ninjas. Surprisingly, the increased speed balloons weren't as much of a threat as I expected. I mean, even the boosted pink balloons were still slower than your average Black Friday shopper. And once I got Bloon Jitsu and Dragon's Breath down to deal with all camos of different types, I was able to get a Bloon Solver in Phoenix and nothing got past any of that. Round 3 complete. Odyssey decimated so far. Do better, Ninja Kiwi. Now, the 4th map of this Odyssey is where all the weirdness starts, and it's honestly the whole reason I'm making this video, because it looks pretty simple, right? Cornfield Chimps round 6 to 50, except you can't remove any objects. And it was honestly pretty easy to beat, just Sada, some Moab damage, and eventually into an Ultra Juggernaut, easy win. But here's where the weirdness starts. It technically counts as a Chimps run, but it's not really Chimps. For one thing, you can get up to 50 lives here, potentially less if you lost some in the Odyssey, but up to 50 lives. Plus, you can sell towers. I don't know what point there would be because they all sell for $0, but you can still sell. So it's called Chimps mode, but not really Chimps. But somewhere in the game code, it registers it as a Chimps run. And since you're not removing any objects because you can't in this run, as soon as you beat this map, it counts as the no harvest achievement. Now, I'm definitely not complaining because no harvest can be a pain to get initially. If you end up watching this video after the Odyssey is complete, I will probably make a guide for no harvest, but other than that, if you catch this on time, you're welcome. Hopefully you enjoy. Anyway, achievement exploit bugs aside, all of the pain in this Odyssey was compressed into the final map. Quad on Impossible with rounds 25 to 80. Technically not impossible because you get up to 50 lives, not 1, but still a lot of pain to deal with. I tried a ton of different strategies to beat this final map, but none of them really worked because, let's face it, I'm not actually that good at this game. The final one that kind of worked was one I did where I had some Summon Phoenixes and Bloon Jitsus, and it kind of worked. On round 65, I thought I was going to sell it all for a Spirit of the Forest, but I decided to wait. That was a big mistake because I ended up dying at round 65, and I had to use a continue because I did not feel like doing that again. And then I later realized I would have had enough money anyway, so basically I just wasted 400 monkey money and made it to where I almost didn't want to post this video because of pure shame of using a continue. Of course, after that, it was a pretty easy win because Spirit of the Forest is honestly a pretty good tower, especially if you're only going to round 8. After that, it kind of falls off, but for this, it worked perfectly. My overall thoughts on the Odyssey, cool achievement bug, glad it got me out of doing that achievement, I was not looking forward to that. Overall, it just felt very unbalanced. It felt like all of the difficulty was in the last map and almost none in the other maps. I guess that was fine, I just want better balancing in future ones. Anyway, if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.